Hello and welcome to my channel. Before I start, please take a moment to subscribe and like. I want to talk about having a peaceful life. At the moment, I feel like I am living the life of my dreams. It is quiet, it is peaceful, and all I hear here is the sounds of nature. And I don't think the camera microphone is picking it up. But if you could hear it, it's the sound of like a snow, rain right now. And sometimes you hear birds. I am the happiest that I have ever been. And my life is amazing. I work less than your average person. I used to work a 40-hour-a-week job, and I remember going there from where I live now, and it was about a year that I had the overlap of living in the tiny house and working, having a 40-hour-a-week job. And it was very rough, and I had to go Monday through Friday every day, and at least 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not really a morning person, I'm more of a night owl. It's kind of against my nature, but I had a really hard time getting down the hill. When you live in a climate like this, they don't really listen to excuses of, you know, the roads are bad, so what, everybody else toughs it out too. And I think that's kind of the attitude of living in this climate with bosses. And snow days are rare, if ever. I remember the day that I had had enough, and I had been doing architecture and interior design for 20 years. I was working on other people's dreams, and what had happened was I couldn't stand it anymore. The man that I worked for was a really great man, but there was a manager under him that was not a good man. And he was verbally abusive. And at that time I didn't even know what that was really. But I put up with it for 7 years at that place. And finally I had my hands on my desk. And I was like, what am I doing here? What am I doing at this job? I'm wasting my life working for the man in the rat race. And when I had realized that, and realized that I thought I could make it, that I would quit my job. And I gave my 2-week notice. And I left. And I never looked back. And when I get up in the morning, I like stretch and I'm like, what am I going to do today? And I've always felt very much about the way I am in my life is very much of a carpe diem sort of person. I feel often like it's so wonderful to have this time to be able to live my life. And now I have the ability to live the life the way I want to live my life. You know, and I can spend time on my sailboat, and I can spend time gardening, and I can spend time making things and living an incredible life. I feel incredibly blessed. I don't have a lot of money, but I don't think it's important to have a lot of money as long as you can set yourself up so that you can feed yourself and so that you can be relatively comfortable and get your bills, what you do have in a tiny house, paid. Generally, I feel pretty comfortable. I kind of get to take a vacation about once a year. And I have loads of free time, and I can do so many things in so many different projects. So since I've lived in the tiny house, I bought my sailboat and I've worked on it and I gutted it and redid the interior. And I've been here for six years now and living off the grid and saving a lot of money because I'm not putting it into storage or having a lot of stuff or having a fancy car or having things that I think most people feel like they need to give themselves value. And that's one thing I did when I was young. I was not really materialistic. I don't think I ever really have been. But I think when it comes to things, there was a time that I felt like I needed stuff to help give me value. That I was a rich person if I had a lot of things. And that if I ever needed to, I could sell that stuff and then get the money if I needed it. And that turned out to be really false for me, because when I moved out of the apartment, I sold all the stuff and I couldn't really sell all of it. But I'm not the kind of person that works, like I put the big things on eBay, but I didn't spend a lot of time selling the stuff, so I didn't get a lot of money for it. So I ended up finding out that all the stuff that I was kind of buying to kind of, that I could sell later, you know, kind of like an investment, those things aren't really an investment. I mean, I guess if you have something that you've done a lot of research on and could find out if it was investment, then okay, maybe. I think the core of what I'm trying to get to is that I realized that I didn't need a lot of money because it wasn't what gave me value, and that things didn't give me value, and that I should put my money towards something that helps me live the most fullest, most amazing life I could possibly live. And that's what I've done. I was able to manifest a lifestyle of leisure. I remember working a 40-hour-a-week job, and I know that a lot of you think this way when you go to work at your 40-hour-a-week job, and you're looking at the clock every 15 minutes, and the day is just dragging by, and you're going, oh gosh, I just wish I could get home. I just wish I could get home and watch a movie or do something else other than be at this place with negative people sucking me dry of my energy. And I'm not saying everybody has a job like that, but I'm saying is that there's a lot of people that live that kind of existence, and they just can't wait to get home. And there's days when it's okay and it's busy, and there's days that really drag. I know, because I've lived those days. And then not being able to really leave at 5 if you work a salary job, because then they would judge you for not working hard enough because you left right on time. I get that. I really do. And maybe it's just prevalent in the architectural business, but I don't think so. I think if you work a salary job, they expect you to put in more than 40 hours a week. I've actually been reprimanded for not working more than 40 hours a week at a 40-hour-a-week salary job. And I was just looking at them like they had two heads, because I'm thinking 40 hours is 40 hours. It's salary. That's all I need to do. And I was so gung-ho about my job at that time. But it still wasn't enough. It still wasn't enough. And there's no security in jobs like that. And I remember this one guy, he had said a rude comment to someone, and he worked so hard. He was a really good worker, and he was a drafter, and he drafted, and he was just really good, and he was fast. they let him go because he said something. But no matter how hard he worked, that basically said to me right there, there's no job security. I'll be an entrepreneur probably for the rest of my life. I can't imagine working for the man anymore. It's incredible being able to, you know, do my own thing when I want and not have to cater to someone else's wishes. I really think that college is overrated. And I went to college. And I feel like our society says we have to go to school in order to, like, succeed in life. And I think succeeding is more about attitude than anything else. Because I feel like if you want to learn something, especially now in this information age, you can learn anything. And you can learn just about anything for free. It's pretty amazing. So why spend so much money putting yourself in debt? Yeah. I am amazingly blessed now that all the work that I do in my life is for me and for what I want to do. And all the work that I've put around here and in my tiny house and my boat has paid me back tenfold, because I get to enjoy it. And not only am I enjoying these things, I'm enjoying the life of doing it, the journey of doing it. My life no longer starts when I get home from work. My life is happening all the time, and it's a journey that I absolutely love. If I died today, I could say that I had a full life and a life that was not wasted. And I want everybody to feel that way. And what would you imagine for yourself? What kind of life do you want? It doesn't have to be about a tiny house. It can be whatever dream you have. Instead, I mean, if you could do anything, if you could live the life of your dreams, what would it be? And that is the first step in manifesting. I'm going to do a video on manifesting because I feel like a master manifester. I've done so many things. I think that I really want to be able to share that power with everyone. So look for another YouTube video on manifesting, probably coming up not too far from now. Thank you for watching.